And you guys are, I'm so grateful that you're here because this is going to be good. Lara, hi friend. Okay, so let's get into this, you guys. What I want to do is, first of all, I want to let you know next week, we're going to do kind of like a getting back to basics training like series for all of next week. So watch for that. I'm going to mute everybody. If you want to speak up, you most certainly can. But next week, watch for that. I want you to take full advantage of the 3 days of Plexus this week. Invite your people, get creative with looking at who you have in the room and how you can utilize this 3 days of Plexus to create growth, one person at a time, okay? So we're not gonna do this training this week because I want you to utilize what we have. But next week, we're gonna get into it. I wanna challenge you to do your own events, as always, right? Look for ways to create new events and things like that. But my intention is to wrap the arms around everyone on our team and to empower you, whether you're new or, like I said, you're growing, with the simple tools and the simple action steps that actually work, okay? Am I okay, Cami, or am I cutting out? I'm good? Yay! Talk about creating solutions. I'm in the Starbucks parking lot in Spanish Fork, so I can have good Wi-Fi. Oh, but here's what I want to do. First of all, these are my notes. I have 6 questions or 6 prompts, 6 actions that you can take to create growth. But first, I want to start with the end in mind, okay? This is a little affirmation that I've created around these 6 things, so that we can start at the end, right? Start at the version of you that's doing these things, the version of you that is a solid diamond, if that's what your goal is, or the version of you that's solid, whatever it is that your goal is. We're gonna start there, and here's the affirmation. And I've taken all of these 6 steps and these 6 things and put them into this one, so that if you can nail this and you can tell yourself this and you can work on this every day, you're gonna do the things that I'm gonna share with you. And guess what, you guys? This affirmation, this creation statement, as you work to embody it and step into it and take action and start to vibrate, I know that sounds crazy, but you start to raise your vibe to the point where this is truly who you are. Guess what? You're gonna change a lot of lives. First of all, you're gonna change a lot of lives. Second of all, you're gonna have the financial abundance that you've always wanted. Okay, so this is like very much foundational and very much the stuff that works. Do you guys want to hear this? This little affirmation, this creation statement? So what I'll do is I will type this up so that you don't have to like take notes, but definitely like listen for what strikes a chord with you and write some notes about what speaks to you specifically when I share this. Okay, so this is how it goes. It says, I am consistently doing the work. I facilitate growth and wins. I'm always creating connections with new people. I foster relationships and create an exceptional experience for those who trust me with their health. And this grows into shout outs, into sharing, and into silvers. I'm the generator of events, and I confidently educate people. I'm a professional inviter, and I enjoy the process of nourishing my own results. That's always paramount. Others' results, and I trust the process of nourishing my funnel. I love myself and I love others well. I'm committed to this work for better or for worse. My family is blessed beyond measure because of this. I am grateful, and all is working for my and our highest good. Okay, so how do you feel when you hear that? Like, I want somebody to unmute and tell me. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me, darn it?
I can hear you. Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
How'd you feel, Lara?
Peace. Just like overwhelming peace.
I love that. That's honestly, you guys, what the foundation of everything is. When we feel peaceful, that means we're trusting the process, right? And guess what? People are attracted to peace. Are people attracted to chaos and like that's not really attractive, right? So what else? Did anybody else have anything stand out, or things that struck you, or something that what you felt when you heard that?
I feel
Christy, oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I feel a little bit like you can control that. you know, like you're in control and it's all up to you. So
Mm,
you're
count.
in charge.
Yes, and that, you guys, that's what I really hope that you get from everything that I share, is that there will be disappointments, period. No one's immune from that. But I want to teach you to be focused on what you can control. And just like Lara said, when you do focus on what you can control, you feel peace, right? So you surrender. Austin, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say I love a professional inviter, because it's all about just inviting. It's not our choice. It's letting them, the ball in their court. That stuck out to me.
Well, I love that. And when we do that, it takes the stress out, right? You're like, it's not my job to twist your arm, but you better believe I'm going to freaking kill this thing with consistency and be a professional inviter. Just like Lara this morning in her team thread, she's like, I got sweat tacos, but I'm sending invitations like crazy for the 3 days of Plexus. She understands that it's a journey, but it's you literally, that affirmation will get you to solid diamond. Do you understand that, you guys? When you embody those things, and I'll type it up so you can print it out if it serves you, and read it and be it and just like let it become you. But that is what it's all about. Now I'm going to go through, there's 6 things here, okay, that are kind of, when we kind of unpack that affirmation and unpack what actions to take in that, this is what it is. Number 1, if you're writing notes, I want you to write consistent, non-negotiable DABs, D-A-B, okay? This is something that we did a couple years ago. We did every single month, we would do a week of the DABs. It's the daily action baby steps. Are you guys clear on what that is? Do you know, like, the income producing activities that we do? What are they? Asking people, right? We're always asking, are you open? Would you like to learn? We're professional inviters, right? And then there's the follow-up. We don't just leave people hanging, and we don't just expect the right people to magically come into our space. We show up and do the work. We're following up. We're posting consistently about our lives and about Plexus. The DABs, the daily action baby steps, is income producing activities. That's just the work, right? And when you are a professional, this number 1 is consistent, non-negotiable work that you do every day, 5 to 6 days a week, right? I will type that up, iPhone. Carol, that's who you are. Sometimes I can't tell, but I see your face. I will for sure type it up. But you guys, when you are a professional and you treat this like a business, you don't skip out on that work. You just don't. Things are busy, yep, but there's no excuses. You're like, how can I carve out 30 minutes to do my DABs, my daily action baby steps? Ask people if they want to learn. Ask if they want to watch a video. Follow up. What do you think of the video? Like, you keep conversations going. That is absolutely number 1, the work, right? Okay. And we're going to go over that more, but you guys know what it is, right? You know what it is. What have you done to get yourself where you are? It's generating new conversations. It's waking up old conversations. It's generating. You are a generator. You're not waiting for people to act upon you. You are generating action. Like Lara this morning, she's like, oh, I'm digging in. I'm going to create a ton of invites because she understands it's a numbers game. So the more people you ask, the more people are going to be ready. The more people you're following up with, the more enrollments you'll get. It's simply a numbers game. And when you really understand number 1, which is the work, there's no shying away from it. There's no, oh, you know, I've been having a hard time. Okay, I understand, compassion, but that doesn't excuse you from doing the work, right? And I didn't get to diamond by just like self-care, right? It's part of it. You've got to take care of yourself, but you got to dig the freak in and do the work. That's number 1. Anybody have questions about that, or comments or thoughts? Okay, you know what the work is. Ask people if they want to learn about Plexus. Follow up. Keep introducing new people every single day. You're expanding that, and you're working through the numbers. So here's where this goes. If you are new, I'm going to do 2 action items for each one of these 6 things. If you are brand new, how can you put this into action? Number 1, make a list. If you haven't made a list yet, or maybe it's time to make a new list, sit down and dump out your brain and your heart and your phone and your Facebook friends and your Instagram followers, just make a huge list. When you make a massive list, guess what? Your job gets easier because you're not trying to white knuckle the same people, right? Just like Austin said, when you realize that you just invite, you keep inviting, you keep inviting, you keep inviting, and there's more people, chances are it's a numbers game. You're going to have more people ready, makes your job easier. So if you're brand new, make a list, okay? If you're not brand new, make a hot 20 list. You always want to have like 20 people or more if you want to get quicker results, expand that list. But you want to have on my phone and the notes in my phone, I have a hot 20 list that I'm always working on. Those are people that I've been talking to, that I feel are close to enrolling. They've engaged on a post. They've asked for a sample. Maybe they haven't enrolled yet. They're hot, right? So if you've been in the game for a while, do the work that you know what to do, and then make a new hot list and work on it every single day. Go through these things with these people every day. If you want faster results, what do? Bigger list. And do more of these things, right? Yes. It's really very simple, but you've got to do this work. So what I want to tell you about number one is this becomes, when you're a professional and you've drawn your line in the sand and you're just all in, this becomes your mode of operation. Like when you wake up in the morning, how many of you like can get away with not brushing your teeth? You're like, oh my gosh, the first thing you do is like, I just got to go brush my teeth, right? It's your mode of operation. So number one, doing this work is going to become your mode of operation if you are serious and if you are committed and if you are ready. Like you just do this stuff 5 to 6 days a week. You're like, it's just what I do. Sometimes it's 15 minutes. Sometimes it's 3 hours. You choose, right? But the more people you're talking to, the faster results you're going to have, period. It's simple. Does everybody understand number one? It's the daily action baby steps. It's the work. You guys got that? Number two, who can I help grow or rank? That's your second question. So I want you to look at your back office, and instead of looking at it with eyes of, oh my gosh, that person quit, or that person doesn't want to be in the business, or, whatever, take away the stories, look at your back office and say, who can I help grow? Or who can I help rank up? Or who can I help get one person even? When you have this mentality, you look at your back office and you are the generator of growth. Do you know what I mean? So you got to look at the people that you've, up to this point, you've kind of discounted and been like, oh, she'll never do the business. BS. You got to look at that and be like, how could I help this person grow? Even by just one person. I promise you, you grow to diamond one person at a time. You grow to emerald one person at a time. So number two is, who can I help grow? If you have been around a while, you look at your back office and you go, who have I overlooked? Who loves their products? Or who's consistent on their products, who have never even reached out to about sharing with their friends and family, right? And you got to get creative with this. You are a facilitator of growth. Everyone who comes into your sphere and your team grows when they're around you. They're like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I enrolled someone. How'd you do that? Right? You're like, I'm a facilitator of growth. I look at my people and I say, hey, you love your products. Who have you thought of who needs Plexus? You don't say, do you want to do the business? Do you want to go silver? Right? You get good at helping people expand their mind to just get one person. What does that look like? Look at your back office today. Okay? Number two, right now action step. Look at your back office or the people that are on the products and make sure every one of them is in the 3 days of Plexus. 3 days of Plexus is magic. Okay? Make sure every one of your people's in the 3-day. Send them a quick message if you haven't invited them yet and say, this is such an awesome tool I want to make sure that you have access to. You're going to be inspired. You're going to learn about the products. And guess what? I know you've probably thought of a few people who would love these products. You can invite them too. Super simple. Can you see how when you're a facilitator of growth and you put those glasses on every day, you'll start to create growth with your people, okay? So if you're new, number two in action, if you're brand new, everybody that you've enrolled, or maybe people you haven't enrolled, help them get one person. Look at your people and say, I'm going to help that person just get one person, or I'm going to help them invite 5 people. Help them invite to the 3 days of Plexus. If you're growing and you haven't yet reached where you want to be, you look at everybody in your back office and you say, who's here? Who can I help get to silver? And you map it out for them. You look at the same people with different eyes, right? And you say, did you know you're only 2 people away from getting $305? Guys, people don't know what they don't know. So you want to be the one that looks at these people and you say, okay, they've enrolled 1 person. They only need 2 more to go silver. And you reach out to them and you say, did you know you're only 2 people away from getting a $305 bonus? Let's get those people invited to the 3-day. Send this video to a few people and let's get you those 2 people this week. Right? Can you see how this behind the scenes work creates growth? Who has questions or comments or anything about number 2 or 1? Is this helpful, you guys? Okay, let's move along. Number 3, grow your network, create new connections. Okay? And you're looking for attractors. Do you guys know what an attractor is? An attractor is someone who's well-liked, who people trust, has friends around, right? If you can find a couple of attractors to catch the same vision that you have, it's game over. That's when you start to multiply your team, okay? So how do you do this? If you're brand new, how can you apply number 3, which is grow your network and make new connections? Go through your list that you've created. The bigger the list, the better. Put stars by the people that you feel like, ooh, that person has a ton of credibility. I want to put a star by them because I think they'd be really good at this. People love them. People trust them. There's someone I want to reach out to first. You put a star by their name and you freaking reach out to them, right? You don't wait for the perfect thing to say. Maybe send a voice message, but you reach out and you say, I'm so dang excited about what I'm learning. And I just can't help but think of you because you're so well liked. People trust you. And I know you love help, or I know, you love to inspire people. You would love what I've been learning about and the people I'm meeting. Yes, Austin said the worst they can say is no. And guess what? People have told me no and we're still friends. It's not like if someone tells you no, all of a sudden they're not your friend anymore. People say no and it's okay, right? You'll never know if you don't reach out. So that's what you do. If you're new, you star the people that you think would love this and you reach out and you just genuinely ask them if they would like to learn about what you're learning about, and you tell them why you thought of them. Okay? If you have been around for a while, this is how you can take action on number 3, which is growing your network. Get out there and create new connections. Facebook groups, join a few Facebook groups. If you feel like, gosh, I've got to get some new people on my list, I want to get more connections. Find a few Facebook groups that are niche for what you love. Maybe it's like a home decor Facebook group, or maybe it's a kids with many or moms with many, right, Lara? Or maybe it's like an exercise Facebook group, or maybe it's a sewing Facebook group. But join some niche groups and start to add value in the groups. You don't go in there and start saying, Plexus, right? We're in a relationship business. So you get into these groups and you start to add value and create connections with new people. You are 1 person away from things completely changing in your business. Like, I want to get you hungry and fired up to go create connections. You just never know who will be like, gosh, I've been looking for this. I'm going to do this with or without you. And you get someone who just runs with the business. Everything changes when you meet just a couple of people. But you've got to be willing to get out there and create connections with people. Go find your people. Where are they? Are they on Instagram? Like, where are they? Find your people and start adding value to people's lives. Comment on their posts. Comment on their stories. Really get to know them. Be a nice friend, and you will create new connections. And you're 1 connection away from things completely changing in your business. That's number 3. Number 4, who's already here? So I want you to write number 4, Who's already here? So often we look for who's coming into the door and we miss that all the people in the room. Take good care of your people. Send them weekly videos. Help them feel seen and loved. I like to do it once a week. I sit down for like an hour and I send out all my videos. I send out all of my check-ins. It's joy. It helps me feel gratitude for who's already here in the room. Guess what else it helps me do? Recognize people that are loving their products. If you're doing your weekly follow-up in like an hour a week or 30 minutes a week, whatever, sending out the retention videos, you're taking good care of people, you will come across people that are like, I can't believe how good I feel. And you're like, tell me more. What are you seeing? And they're like, my energy's through the roof and I'm sleeping like a husband. They're not going to say that, but you can say that, right? And then guess what you do, you guys? This is the action for this one. You get shout outs. As you're doing your retention and you're taking excellent care of the people in the room, you are smart. And you're like, that person just told me awesome results. Well, I'm going to bridge the gap for them and help them take a baby step. And you ask, I love what you just shared. Would you be open to writing up a quick paragraph? Send me a picture of you that you love. I want to share the success with my Plexus people. They'll be so inspired by your story. And then you go into Socrates Plexus Health or whatever info page you're in, and you help them do a shout out in the page. And guess what? Everyone's going to be like, I'm so happy for you. This is awesome. You're reminding me of my sister. And they're like, oh my gosh. Let me tell you the behind the scenes about number 4. When you help people take action and share their wins, even in just one of our pages, they own their story. And they start to go, oh my gosh, I am feeling better. And oh my gosh, that felt so good to inspire other people. I like that feeling. It's inception, you guys. You are smart and you're doing your retention with the glasses on of who can I see who's doing well, and then you facilitate a shout out of some sort. Okay? When you do that and they share it on the info page, you say, oh my gosh, that was so awesome. You inspired so many people. Have you thought about just sharing that on your personal page? I know a lot of people would be so inspired by what you shared in your network. And they might be like, ooh. And you're there to say, I get it. I feel you. But there's so many people silently suffering. I'd love to help and support you doing that. And they go, okay. Then guess what happens, you guys? Sometimes you get someone that goes gold accidentally because they're an attractor. And you help them share their story on Facebook and boom, 20 people sign up in a week. It happens all the time, I promise. But number 4 is who's already here. You got to look through that and be a generator. Look through there and create shout outs. You could even get creative and say, I'm doing a shout out contest and I'm giving away $20 Amazon gift cards to 3 people who give me a shout out today. Would you be open to just sharing what you're loving about your products? Tag me in it on Facebook and I'm going to draw 3. Or maybe you do it for every person because maybe there's only 3 or 4 anyway. Get creative. But first, you've got to know who's in the room and be digging in with them consistently and helping them take a baby step. Are you guys loving this? Tell me what you're learning. I'm going to take a break before we go into the last 2. They're simple. Anybody have ideas? Anybody get a breakthrough? Anybody have a takeaway? I'm talking a lot. Okay.
I was sorry. I think everybody loves a little praise, and that goes a long way. And I need to do that. I need to be better at that.
Totally, you guys. People work harder for praises than raises. And especially in this business, people will do things to get recognition. And they might even say like, oh, I don't really care about recognition. But most people don't get any more recognition after high school. Do you know that? Or college. They need to be seen and heard. Give people opportunities to be shouted out. There's been a lot of enrollments. Go into Socrates and shout out your people for getting enrolled. These people are starting their journey. We wanted to welcome them. That's another thing with who's already here. Get creative with that, okay? And then Miley said, yes, invite as many people as possible to the 3 days of Plexus. And we have verbiage on what you can say and how you can message them. but get on it. It's happening with or without you. Make it count for you and your team by inviting people and inviting your new people to invite people. That's the magic, okay? Okay, so number 5, who can I create an event for? I want you to write that down, and when you're doing your work, this is the map you're following. So you're looking at all your people and you're thinking, are they more online? Could I do a face-to-face event, a gathering? Could I do a Zoom? Could I do like a Facebook event? How can I create an event for people on my team? And you're the confident one that shares the simple 3 things about what Plexus does. You become you become a mimic. You just hear us saying the same things, and you go back and you rewind it and you write it down and you rewind it and you write bullet points and you just say the same things that we say, right? That's how I learned how to do it. And you'll get better with time, but look over your people. Who can I create an event for? It could be an event with 2 people. Cool. Do a Zoom. Make them feel special. Help expand what they are seeing. Help get into their network, right? So if you're brand new, this is what you can do to do this. Do your own event. If you have not yet done an event, get with your sponsor, do your own event of some sort. It could be online, it could be face-to-face, but you guys, network marketing is about events. You know why? Because there's connection at events. And this is a people and a relationship business. And guess what? You're going to be so excited when you put on an event for someone and they have that tingly feeling of, oh my gosh, I made a difference for people. And you're the one that's helping facilitate that. You've got to be the generator of events. I'll tell you really quickly, in June, I set 1 intention for our team. 1. How many of you know what it was? I was like, I am going to preach until I am blue in the face. Do events for your own teams, right? Lisa knows what I'm talking about. Remember when I jumped up and down and I was like drawing these pictures of the ripple and how when you do your own events, you're dropping that rock right next to the people. They feel the results bigger. They're going to have bigger results when they are putting on their own events. You will have bigger results when you put on your own events. So don't wait for other people. When you take ownership and you create your own events and then you create them for your people, that's when you're going to create momentum. Okay?
The thought that always comes to my mind is if you build it, they'll come.
Yes.
So I love like doing events for my people, and then my people have a chance to share. Like I've had people go live on or talk on our events that wouldn't have ever really thought about sharing, but will come and do that and share their story, or even just write up a post and post their story, or do a video. If they don't want to go live, sometimes they'll do a video and post it too. So
absolutely. Laura's spot on to like leadership is getting people to take ownership. When people take ownership, they show up. How many of you know that? So that's the beauty of this, is when you do an event for your own people, there's ownership. And they're like, this is my event. I got to show up and I got to invite my people. So Kimberly's team has been doing What is Plexus calls. They did one every day in June and they've created insane momentum. I'm not saying do one every day, but I am saying do one this week. Do one this week, your own, right? Pair up with someone and say, I want to do an event. I promise you the energy that you have will be different. And your people will be like, oh my gosh, Cammie's really excited. Like, I want to be there because this is Cammie's event. Like I've seen Sammy and Christy do it. That's cool. But I'm excited to see Cammie do it. And Austin, like they get excited and you show up differently when you own an event and you're the one generating for your people. Promise you, this is not BS. This is the stuff it really takes. Okay, so again, if you're new, do your own event, meaning talk to your sponsor and say, could I have an event? Will you help me do an event? If you're brand new, you don't have to do the event. We're going to do it for you, right? But do one for your people. You will love it. They will love it. And it will move the needle for sure. If you've been around for a while and you're growing, ask yourself, who is loving their products? And you connect with them and you say, I know you're loving your products. I would love to do a 20-minute What is Plexus Zoom for 3 to 5 of your closest friends. This is so much more fun to do this when you have friends doing it. Are you open to doing that? And they're going to go, how to sell. And you go, okay, no problem. What we do on these calls is just simply educate. We educate people on the products and they want it. So we don't sell. Good news, right? Who are your 3 to 5 people you've been thinking of who would love these products? And they'll tell you. And you say, let's get on a 20-minute Zoom. Let's do this. You share your story. You get emotional because that creates connection. You get vulnerable. You quickly tell what the products do. Call to action. That's it. It can be 20 minutes. That's how you do this. If you want to generate momentum and you've been around a while, look through your back office, schedule some events with your people. Take ownership, generate, do it. 6, who can I get to an event? This is the last one. Guys, we are always inviting. We are professional inviters. Even now, you guys, the other day we were driving to Top Golf with my family. I spent 30 minutes in the car inviting my people to the 3 days of Plexus and making sure my people were plugged in. I still do this stuff. This is what you do when you are a professional network marketer. You never skip these steps and you do them. So you're always inviting. If you are new and you're listening to this, how can you apply number 6, which is who can I get to an event? Do your own event, invite your people, invite people to the 3 days of Plexus that we're doing this week. You can invite to the What is Plexus calls, but you guys, you got to look at everything with how can I get someone to an event? Because guess what? People see this much. They see, okay, so Austin says that she can poop now. Yay, right? They see this much. Then you invite them to an event and they go, oh my gosh, well, Lisa's back doesn't hurt and she's doing work on the farm all the time and she doesn't hurt anymore. It starts to expand their vision. And then they hear from Lara Sutton. They're like, dude, anxiety? This can help with anxiety? I didn't know that. And then they hear Cammie's story and they're like, what? I had no idea this helped with migraines. And their vision expands. Then they start to get it. They start to want to do the products, and then they start to see the vision for sharing because they hear all these stories and they hear the nitty-gritty on the products. Events expand people's vision. And we are here to create vision for people. That's why we're professional inviters. So number 6, if you're brand new, invite to your own event, to the 3 days of Plexus, to a What is Plexus call, if that's what your team's doing. If you've been around for a while, how do you implement number 6? You get your hot 20 list and you say, how can I utilize this 3 days of Plexus? And how can I get these people to come to this 3 days of Plexus? And you invite them and you connect with them, right? And then your new enrollments, same thing. You're like, how can I get them to come to this event? Even people who are on the products, they see maybe this much. You've got to get them to hear other stories and learn more so that their vision expands. So get your current people to the 3 days of Plexus so they can expand their vision. They will start sharing when their vision expands. I promise you. But it's our job to just help facilitate that growth of their vision. Okay, you guys, and I'm going to end with this one more time. We went over, but I really hope this has been valuable to you to know what to do. Because a lot of times I hear people say, well, I don't really know what to do when it's time to work, right? These 6 questions are going to help you to create momentum and to take ownership and growth on your team. So here's what we started with. I am consistently doing the work. I facilitate growth and wins. I'm always creating connections with new people. I foster relationships and I create an exceptional experience for those who trust me with their health. This grows into shout outs, sharing, and silvers. I'm the generator of events and I confidently educate people. I'm a professional inviter and I enjoy the process of nourishing my own results, others' results, and I trust the process of nourishing my funnel. I love myself and I love others well, and I'm committed to this work for better or for worse. My family is blessed beyond measure because of this. I am grateful, and all is working for my and our highest good. Can you see how those, I talked to you, this is the mindset part of it. This is like the affirmation that helps you to get into the vibe and to vibe high, because that's attractive, right? But then those 6 questions will help you to actually walk this out. And I'm telling you, this is all I've done. Guys, this is what it takes. This is what it takes to be a professional, classy, impact maker, professional network marketer. When you get good at this, you impact a ton of lives. It is so fulfilling and you find yourself not ever worrying about money again. And guess what? When that happens, you get to serve from a position of strength. It's the best thing ever. No more scarcity, no more suffering financially. You get to show up with strength, and it is the best, and it matters eternally. So this work matters. I want to challenge you to take these 6 steps and to put it into action today and this week as you work the 3 days of Plexus, and as you keep digging in. Use these 6 questions and do these things to grow and create amazing things on your team. If you guys have any questions, I know we've gone over, but our team call is going to be tomorrow, like our big team call. We had a couple other calls happening at the same time since it's a Tuesday instead of a Monday. So we're going to make that tomorrow. I'll tell you the details when we have the time and stuff. Does anybody have questions about this? Anybody have an aha moment or a breakthrough? What are you thinking? I want to hear from you. Laura, are you unmuting yourself? Well, then who's committed? I'll write the 6 steps. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like the idea of continuing to educate those that are even on the products already. I feel like I have a friend who I probably didn't do that well enough. I kept really good contact with her. I talked with her all the time, and I got her on, or I sent her all the videos, but she never was on a Zoom. She never was on a 3 days of Plexus. She never was seeing those stories. And since I think she's probably run out of her product now, and she was going to see how she felt not being on it anymore. So anyway, I really like that, to just really take care of those people and get them in the group, even though they're already on it, but just to get them in the group and in Saucony. I've even added on my tracking sheet when they enroll to add them to Saucony and to let them know that they were invited to that, so that they can get in there and start utilizing that. So
smart, Lisa. You guys, I want you to understand that, like, when people get in the door, that's the beginning, right? I used to think, oh good, they're on the products, okay. And then I realized, no. When people are on the products, then it's time to start to drip more and help them understand, because then you start getting people sharing, right? Organically. It starts to happen when you do that. Who else was going to share? Thank you for sharing, Lisa, and thanks for being here. I love seeing your beautiful face. Austin, were you going to say something?
I'm just making sure I understand this correctly. Events, you're talking about like hosting something at our house?
Yep, that's an event.
Right? Okay.
Hosting
Or
at your house? Yeah.
I'm more of a live person.
Yes.
In life.
Yes, and if that's what's working, keep doing it, right? But when you're being a generator, you look at your people and you're like, would they do better with an online? Some people are more comfortable online. So make sure that you're like kind of looking through your people and figuring out an option that will work for them too. Does that make sense? But if that's working for you, keep doing it, sister friend. Okay, anybody else have anything to share before we sign off? I'm going to write these things in a post, and then I'll write the affirmation as well. And I'll put the recording below it so that you guys can share this, because getting your people to learn these things is what is going to create duplication and massive growth, right? Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming today. Mwah. Create a beautiful day. Let's slay this week. Bye.